What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Jacob Daniel back at it again here at the Speed Kills podcast. Derek Dietrich has become a fan favorite in Cincinnati. I think he's become my favorite Reds in this past season with his 3 home run games and just his beautiful left-handed swing. And this is the start of my campaign to have Derek Dietrich in the home run derby for the 2019 All-Star Game. The 2019 All-Star Game is in Cleveland, Ohio, and that is Derek Dietrich's hometown. Can you imagine Derek Dietrich winning the home run derby in his hometown? I think that would just be phenomenal. That'd be great for him. He's came out and said on his Instagram story that he would love to be in the home run derby if he was invited. So he would definitely do it. I don't know who he'd have pitched to him. This situation reminds me of Todd Frazier being in the home run derby and winning it when the All-Star Game was in Cincinnati. He won the home run derby. And as a Reds fan, that was one of the best moments in recent memory for me as a Reds fan. I remember watching that whole home run derby, and I just remember being so happy for Todd Frazier. Todd Frazier was actually one of my favorite Reds back in that time. Having Derek Dietrich in the home run derby would be almost equal feelings for me if he were to win it in Cleveland, in his hometown. It's not Cincinnati, but it's still Ohio, and it'd be a lot better for him because it is his hometown. In 2019, Derek Dietrich has hit 17 home runs, and his slugging percentage is at 700. So I definitely think that he could definitely be invited into the home run derby for the 2019 All-Star Game. And a lot of other players don't like being in the home run derby just because they say it messes up their swing and all this other junk, and they come up with excuses. Like I said, Derek Dietrich wants to be in the home run derby, and I think he's starting to be more nationally known just because of his bat flip. Twitter loves his bat flips and different antics, so I definitely think that he has a strong chance of being in the home run derby, and I hope that he does. I hope that the MLB invites him, and I think that he would be a great competitor for this. I did look up the differences between the ballparks, which is Great American Ballpark, which is Cincinnati's ballpark, and Progressive Field. I think Derek Dietrich has hit the majority of his home runs at Great American Ballpark, but I know that he's hit a lot in away games too, but let's just say that, the outside media says that Derek Dietrich hits a lot of home runs because Great American Ballpark is a hitter's ballpark. Well, I looked up the differences in the ballparks between Progressive Field and Great American Ballpark, and they're actually very, very similar. So Great American Ballpark is 328 to left field, 379 to left center, 404 to dead center, 370 to right center, and 325 down the right field line. And Progressive Field is very similar to that. It's a little bit deeper in right field, so going from left field to right field. Down the left field line, it's 325. Left center is 370. Dead center is 410. Just a little bit to the right of that is 405. Right center is 375, and down the right field line is 325. So you're not looking at a ton of difference. Down right center field, it is 5 feet more, and down the right field line, it is exactly the same as Great American Ballpark. And I'm talking about right field because a lot of Derek Dietrich's home runs were balls that were pulled, and as a left-handed hitter, you want to pull the ball and hit the ball out to right field, and that is mostly Derek Dietrich's game. So I don't think the ballpark would really affect Derek Dietrich in the home run derby, so I think that even proves more to the point that he would have a really good chance of winning the home run derby, and it's all depends on who he goes up against and different things like that. But just to talk about the ballparks are very similar. Progressive Field in Cleveland is a little bit deeper, but it is very similar to Great American Ballpark. The next thing that I would like to address about Derek Dietrich is the Pirates broadcaster comments about Derek Dietrich following his 3 home run game, and those comments were made on the Fan Morning Show on a Pittsburgh radio station the next morning, and this was the quote that was said by a Pittsburgh broadcaster. It said, "I can't stand him." He's talking about Dietrich. "I don't understand why you would have to do that. It's different if you're a Hall of Fame player, you're a 60 home run guy, you're an established guy. Nobody ever heard of him before this year. I've heard of him because of his grandfather. He used to be a minor league coach for the Pirates. He was the sweetest guy in the world. He's rolling in his grave every time this guy hits a home run. He's embarrassed of his grandson." I don't know why. And this Pirates broadcaster was talking about Derek Dietrich bat flipping and looking at the ball too long, basically pimping his home run. I don't really understand why this broadcaster had to say these things about Derek Dietrich. He was clearly just overtaken by emotions after Derek Dietrich took the Pirates for an absolute ride when he hit 3 home runs against them in one game. To all those traditionalists that don't like bat flips, don't like these players having fun when they hit a home run, people were against Ken Griffey Jr. wearing his hat backwards while he hit BP. The game of baseball is different than it was back in 1970, 1980s, and the 1990s. And I think it's changed for the better. And all these traditionalists needs to understand that the game is changing. Players are going out there and just having fun. Baseball was created for players to have fun. And I think that's what these guys are doing. That's what Derek Dietrich is doing. And another example of this is Tim Anderson. Tim Anderson is having fun out there when he, throws the bat towards his own dugout. And if you as a pitcher throw the ball right down the middle and a batter, hits it out of the park, that's your fault. That's your mistake. And the hitter is just capitalizing on your mistake. I really don't understand why all these traditionalists are saying that, this is awful for the game of baseball. This is entertaining. As a fan, as at least me as a fan, I love watching this. I love seeing it on social media. I love, people freaking out about it too, because it's not that big a deal. The quote about, Tim Anderson and all these other players is let the kids play. And that's exactly what they need to do, is just let the kids play. It's a fun game and baseball is fun. And that's what these two guys are having, Derek Dietrich and Tim Anderson, that is the ones I'm talking about. They're having fun playing the game of baseball. And yeah, these pitchers and these traditionalists can get mad about these bat flips and everything, but people don't get mad when the pitchers, yell and scream after a strikeout. It's the same thing. It's showing emotion when you play, and I don't think that there's a problem with that. I think that it's just players getting pumped up, players getting motivated, and players having fun playing the game of baseball. They're professionals, and they take the game very seriously. That's just what they're doing. They're having fun, and I think we need more of that in the game of baseball today. That's all I have for you guys today. Make sure to stay tuned here on the Speed Kills podcast. And if you haven't already, go check out the first episode of the Squadcast. It is me and two of my other friends going over NFL quarterback tiers, so make sure to check that out. It's a longer podcast. It's 42 minutes long, but I'm sure that you would love to hear it. So make sure to stay tuned here on the Speed Kills podcast and be on the lookout for the next video.